All right, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. If you can hear me, let me see in the comment section, please. Good afternoon. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, we
All
can
right.
hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hussein. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Omotoyo Moshifumi, and I am a lawyer based in Lagos, and I'll be your moderator this afternoon. It's interesting to have us talking about robotics, and sorry, 1 second, please. 1 second. I'm trying to sort this. Okay. So we're talking about robotics and oversight today. So I'm sure we're all prepared. We'll have a number of we have 3 exciting speakers here. And trust me, you're going to have an exciting time. But most importantly, we're also going to have presentations. You're used to these drills already. I should not be telling you how this thing works. But let's go ahead. So first, this is JIIPCC mentorship. I'm sure you're familiar with that. I know you've been here all along, so I don't need to. I wonder why I keep telling you people these things when I know you already know them. But most importantly, I am going to read out a couple of important informations to you about JIIPCC. The JIIPCC Mentorship and Internship Program is a quarterly program for students and young professionals across Africa. Mentees are afforded the opportunity to access valuable advice, training, network, mentorship, internship, discussion forums, and industry updates and resource materials from experienced mentors. The program seeks to encourage continuous training and development and evolution in Africa and around the world. You can watch our videos by searching for JIIPCC on YouTube, Facebook, hashtag JIIPCCMIP. So, I should put it out there that I'm also a product of JIIPCC. I did, I was 2021, the intellectual property training. So I can say for a fact that JIIPCC is one of the best learning experiences you can have. Now, the objective of the program is to provide easy access to quality professional guidance, training, and resource materials for students and young professionals in Africa, and to facilitate dialogue and network among experienced and less experienced practitioners and stakeholders. It also seeks to transform mentees into mentors and leaders for the next generation. And finally, to facilitate further mentorship, internship, scholarship, and job placement for the mentees. Now, you've been here for about 4 weeks now. So I know for a fact that you have experienced the learning process in JIIPCC. You've gotten access to the quality experience. You've done your research, you've done your discussions, you've had time to interact with more experienced people in the field. Now, this is robotics and oversight. So I'm not very experienced in robotics, but I know for a fact, I know how the world is tilting towards artificial intelligence and machine learning, and with time, robots are going to be the future. I'm quite scared about the future of the world when it's in the hand of robots, but I'm sure our mentors today are going to sort that out. They're going to explain the details for us. I need feedback. I need feedback from the mentees here. Feedback from everyone. If you're here with me, I just need someone to say something. How has the week been for you? How has the training been? It's been 3 weeks at JIIPCC mentorship. So how has it been for you? Any feedback from somebody? There are about 13 here. Like, I'm going to pick someone randomly. Cindy Cyril. Hi. Can you unmute yourself, please?
Good afternoon. Sorry, I didn't get your question. I just joined now.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to repeat myself. So I said, in the past 3 weeks, how has it been for you with robotics and oversight? Should I repeat myself? Should I go over that again? Okay, I think we lost Cindy. No problem. Now, you all have been.
I think he raised his hand, so you can ask him. God's love, Kamalu. His hand is raised.
Okay. Yes, please. God's love, please.
Okay, so my hand has been up for a while, so I've been pretty shocked. Okay, the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks now has been, I'll say one thing, aside the classes, I'll say one thing I have really enjoyed. My group, first of all, there's this bond of family we found that it's more like we are helping ourselves get through this period, get through the classes, get through the research. And it's nice because we research and we come together and try to know, okay, what do you really think about this? For me, that's one of the most beautiful things. And then our mentors every week, ooh la la, like, you hear people talk and you ask yourself, are these human beings? Like, for real? Are these not the AI we're talking about? Because they are so intelligent, they're so astute, like, you can get so much wisdom oozing from them. It's so much joyful. I really appreciate Gypsy for this opportunity. For someone who has been in and out of AI and machine learning, coming here and really having an avenue to actually do research, not just ordinary research that puts you in a place of leadership, puts you in a place of actually writing articles, puts you in a place of actually doing something to be better. I think it's really, really nice. I appreciate that so much. And I say thank you to Gypsy for this opportunity. It's really, really nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. To get feedback again. Can everyone hear me? At the sound. Can you hear me, Go Slow?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so we'll go to presentation. Well, first, I think I should point it out to everyone that Gypsy is a quarterly program that happens every okay, so Gypsy is a quarterly program. It happens every quarter. That's every 3 months. So, and it spreads across a large number of activities. You have intellectual property, you have NFT and AI, you have robotics, which is where we are right now. Then there's energy as well. So those aspects are available for you, and you should refer someone to GP. You should refer someone to ensure, as Gustav said, it's a great opportunity to learn. It's a great opportunity to interact with people. So please refer someone to Gypsy. I think we have slides, we have pictures about Gypsy. Oh, I am so sorry. Can you hear me now? Is it better?
Yes, I was able to hear before.
Right. Thank you. Someone just pointed that they could barely hear me. All right. Let me try this. Okay. So as you can see on the slide, the courses available at Gypsy, fully online courses, intellectual property, artificial intelligence and technology, the energy industry, fintech industry, health and tech and law, health tech and law, patent drafting, blockchain, NFT and the metaverse. This is literally the future of the law. In fact, the future of the world. So this is providing you with an opportunity to learn what will guide the next phase of the world. So I think everyone should be open to this learning experience and to also refer other people. So please refer people to the program. And more importantly, I'm so excited about this one. I am excited about this. Now, we all want one-on-one training sessions. We all want that personal interaction. As Gustavo said, the opportunity to interact with your mentors. So how about you get a one-on-one session with them, as you get 30 minutes one-on-one mentorship with your favorite gypsy mentor, anyone at all. So best love and everyone else, and whoever it is that has inspired you so far, that has that you've enjoyed the learning experience with. You get to spend one-on-one session with them. Just use the link there and get access. All right, so we're going to the presentation now. I think we've spent quite a lot of time already. We're going to the presentation. Of course, we'll have our mentors do teachers as well, but for now, each group is going to be presenting first. So we'll start from the first group. Let's have your representatives and your slide. You have 7 minutes. So who's the representative for the first group? Experiencing little life issue in Nigeria. We are familiar with it. All right. So the first group, please.
If the presenter for group 1 is not ready, the backup presenter can come in, or we can just
right, let's do that then. Okay, what group is present and ready? I just need a member of the group to signify. If your group is ready to present, just let me know here.
On behalf of group 2, I think I'm ready to present.
Right, all right then, let's do that. So group 2 started. Okay, we start. I'm sorry, I hope I don't murder your name. I hope I don't. It looks interesting. Is it Wasera? Wasera? All right, please, group 2 representative.
Yes,
I don't destroy your name.
Wasera.
All right, Wasera, please. All right, thank you. Please, presentation. You have 7 minutes.
Just hold on. I'm trying to open the slides, the presentation so that.
Well, while she's getting ready, I can assure you that we have excited. We have 3 mentors today. I'm sure you've seen this slide. We have 3 mentors, and they are coming with their best game. You're going to learn about oversights and robotics. So I'm sure you've done your research, and I'm expecting questions, exciting questions. Let's make this conversation very engaging today. So please, Wasera, if you're ready.
I should be.
All right, just continue with your presentation. Yeah. Continue with your presentation. However, I can't continue.
Okay. Okay. So let me share my screen.
You can go ahead with your introductions while you do that.
Okay. Right. So on behalf of, I don't know, is my screen sharing? Can you see my screen?
No, not yet. I can't see it.
No, not yet. We can't see it.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay, I can see you. I
Okay.
can see you, but not your screen.
You can see my screen now, yes?
Yes. Yes.
All right, great. All right, so group 2, we were focusing on robotics as it relates to labor law, and as you have briefly introduced, or as you have briefly said, that you're scared for your future as a human being, because the technology and the artificial intelligence progress that's coming at us is really, really quick, and it might be quicker than what our laws currently govern. And those are some of the issues that we looked through and discussed before we came up with this presentation. And of course, from the top of our minds, I think we can obviously say that to some extent, it feels as though automation has come to take over human jobs. And as it is, speaking from Kenya, you have a right to work. You have a right to, because you have a right to fending for yourself and for your livelihood. But with the fast progress of AI and robots taking mechanics taking over our places in the work field, what does that mean for us as human beings? How is the law protecting us as human beings? And how is the law governing this fast progression when it comes to technology? So robotics, basically, I think without even like reading word for word from this presentation, robotics, I could define it from the top of my head as automation. It's basically the margin of science, which is now the technological part of it, which comes from the design and how these robots will operate, and basically technology, computer science. I think you'd understand that, and also merging that science with mechanics. So the engineers and the constructors and all those people who come together. I think that's what robotics is, and I think that's like the layman's definition of what you can say robotics is. Like, just the automation of services and automation of human work, physical work done, but not just physical, but now to a point where it's also about calculating, analytics, any kind of analysis, really. So it's basically like the competition between the human mind and this artificial mind. And then now labor laws are set out to protect laborers, basically people you work. Anywhere you work, there are rules, there are laws, but there's like in Kenya, for example, because that's where I'm from, there's county laws protecting the laborers from certain county. There's national laws, like our Kenyan constitution. We have a labor law act. Internationally as well, we have labor laws. We have global laws that apply everywhere in the world. So this presentation is basically about how automation and law comes in together to ensure that there's a swift flow of accepting robotics into our field, and also protecting the humans who are already there. So the use of AI in robotics, this is meant to facilitate growth and productivity, because obviously if you compare human productivity and robotics productivity, then you can be very quick to say that human productivity is going to be below robotics productivity. So there's a bit of competition there. So this compilation was basically, like I've mentioned, so I'm seeing like these some acts in Nigeria, which I would not entirely relate to, but like I've mentioned, some of these laws are global, and some of them, it depends on the geographical area, but I think we can all relate to some very common, like, the right to employment, the right to unionizing, the right to, when it comes to things like liability, if you're working under someone and you're working under their instructions, and whose liability is it? Is there vicarious liability? Is there strict liability? When it comes to robots, who takes liability when liability needs to be taken, rather? So as it is right now, our laws don't define laborers as any other thing other than human, as natural persons, rather as it doesn't define workers as any other thing other than natural persons. So this means that there's a gap when it comes to someone's unmuted. Yeah, so like I've already mentioned, the gap that is already existing is that robotics is not regulated as it should be. So there's things like here, for example, yes. Let me just read this one paragraph. So according to paragraph AD, European Parliament Resolution of 16th February 2017, with recommendations to the Commission of Civil Law Rules on Robotics, it was concluded that where an act or omission of a robot is traced to a human agent, such as a manufacturer, the operator, the owner, or the user, the human agent could be held strictly liable for such commission or act. Now, I think I'll take you back to March 2016, when Microsoft launched its chatbot. I think it was called I don't want to mislead you, but there's a chatbot that was launched in March 2016 by Microsoft, sorry. And this was launched on Twitter. And this chatbot went ahead and started responding negatively to statements that had been put out by natural human beings. But on Twitter, you could be reported if you're putting out insulting posts, if you're targeting a certain group, if you're being discriminatory and all that. And within 11 days, within 11 hours, I think, they had to take down this chatbot and then reinvent it again. But now in that situation, if someone was to sue this particular chatbot, would they be suing the chatbot itself, or would they sue Microsoft itself? There's still room for contention there, because in as much as this recommendation that's been put out there, this could be a global recommendation that's not been ratified by locals. So you might find that in your country, there's no action to be taken. And are our courts empowered with the jurisdiction to hear such matters? So this is, I think, when someone hears about robotics and automation, well, the robots are out here to take our jobs, because their turnover time is quicker. Their turnover time is quicker. Number two, they have quality work. But then we also forget that these are mechanisms, these are machines that have been created by human beings, and there's also room for error. So in my opinion, I do believe that such problems should be solved by equipping the humans who are already there with the skills to work together with the automated machines. And that way, we're not going to have people losing jobs, other than having people resisting automation. Because if I was told that while I'm here making this presentation, there's a vacuum cleaner cleaning my house for me, I don't mind that at all, but then I also have to train my house manager how to operate it, because I still need someone to help me. So it's basically should be a collaboration of the two. Otherwise, I can be very ignorant and say, since everything is automated, I don't need my house manager. So there goes a person who's lost their job. And I have to take it upon myself to do ABCD.
Sarah, hi. Thank you. An exciting presentation, by the way, but I'll have to stop you because of the time. Can you conclude? I'll give you 2 minutes to conclude.
Okay. All right. So I think from what I've already said, we can already pick up the examples without me having to go through much of them. I've already given an example as well. and the slides were shared. So again, just to list them, using robots can be more efficient, quicker turnover time, might save you money than using humans. However, there are disadvantages, which is of course increased unemployment. So you have to, like we did the other week, cybersecurity, robotics can be hacked, so you can't fully trust. You also need that's why one of the solutions is equipping those who are already working within the environment to have the skills to be able to operate with these automated machines. Yes, I think that would be my conclusion without without taking it any further.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. An exciting presentation, by the way. I liked how you did not really rely much on your slides, how you had everything going in your head already. So thank you for that. But I'd like to see the slide. I did not see the slide. I don't know if anyone else did. I didn't. It was quite blurry from here, and I did not want to interrupt you. But no problem. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't quite blurry, but I think that was shared to the group already. Sorry, I don't know why that was it.
No problem. We'll continue. Moving on. I think that is group 3 ready or group 1? Which of them is ready? What group is ready? Group 3 or group 1?
Okay.
You just have to go.
Hello.
So
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, please. Okay.
Please.
Yeah, we're speaking.
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can. That's Miracle.
God.
Is that Miracle?
Yes,
Miracle.
yeah. Sir, can you hear me? Yes,
Yes, we can. What group?
Okay. Group 1, please. I had a problem with my network initially.
All right, no problem. Please, go ahead with your presentation.
Okay.
You have 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. We are going to be talking about robotics and oversight. I'll be sharing my screen. Please, if you can hear me at any point, let me know.
All right.
Hello?
Well, we can hear you clearly right now. We can hear you very clearly right now. So go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I'm trying to share my screen. Let me see. It's on robotics and oversight. Now, first of all, while I'm looking at my screen, the introduction, we are in the age of advancement of science and technology, and several things are already happening in the field of science. And robotics is one branch of science that one branch of technology that involves the designing, the creation of robots. So, and what it does is that it concerns how robots works, how robots comes in to carry out human activities even more efficiently and also with precision and accuracy. So that is robotics. That's what it concerns, the creation of robots. Are you seeing my screen, please? Yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, we can. Continue, please.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you. See your slide. Miracle, continue.
Okay. Okay, but you can see. Okay, I'll go on, please, while the slide will come down later. So now there are some facts you should notice about robots.
All right. I really cannot hear you anymore, Miracle. I'm hoping that is just from my end. Can anyone else hear her? Oh, she has a call. All right. I have no idea what is going on right now. It looks like. But while we are here, I
Hello.
okay. Hello.
Okay, please. I'm in her group, so I will just step up for her so we can move on with that
Thank you.
presentation quickly.
Thank you. Continue, please.
Okay, so she's done an intro into the topic already, and I thank God Group 2 has also given us an insight into what robots are about. So she was about to tell us about some facts about robotics and about robots basically. There are different types of robots and their functions that they actually carry out that makes life easier for us. There are robots that are basically autonomous and mobile. These robots can go anyhow they want to move. There are robots that articulated robots basically. You know how we have robots are they are machines that look like an arm. They actually go in a circumference. There are robots that are hybrids. My favorite kind of robots that can do almost anything. These ones are the bosses. I call them the bosses of robots. Okay, so I don't want to bore so much on that one. Pros and cons of robots. The truth is, with the invent of robots, we can be sure that every good thing has a bad side. Robots, one good thing about robots is that it has really, really reduced the labor requirements for humans. The stress we go through with our work has really been really, really reduced. There's some improvements on safety. I remember my older brother used to work with Dufil Company, and he had his finger slashed some time back because of doing productions. With robots handling stuff like that, it's actually reduced some hazards to humans and how they actually suffer for things like that. And it's really a beautiful thing. But then what are some cons of robots? We know for sure the heavy initial investment for you to go into robotics right now, the amount of money that will go into that is more than actually using human labor. And the fact that over time, the algorithm for creating the AI in robots, we know the issue with bias and some issue with AI, it's really affecting our robots and the decisions they are making. That's one major flaw we have most of the time with robots. What are robotics? If we have robots, the way to actually get robots working, that's robotics. Easiest way, the mechanism, the operations, the constructions. How do we get robots to actually function? Who are those with the know-how to get robots to work? That's robotics. That's the work of robotics companies, robotics engineer, and what they do. Examples of robotics, I will just try to go with, I'm sorry, it's really noisy here. I'm actually on a journey. Examples of we have the sports robot is in of South Africa. We have the zip line that you find in Rwanda. I'm sorry about that. The zip line you find in Rwanda, Vortex Robotics, the Dash robots. These are different type of robots with their different jobs they actually carry out. My favorite right now is the zip line of Rwanda. It really came through during the COVID-19 period and helped us helped a whole lot in South Africa. So robotics oversight. If we're getting the fear that robots are actually beginning to take over from humans, how then do we put robots under check? That's where robotics oversight is coming. How do you put robots under check? How do you ensure that robots are doing exactly what they are meant to do and not exceeding that? How do we ensure that robots are carefully arranged? That's the oversight. The truth is, many companies are getting breakthroughs in actually creating robots, but are not really getting so much breakthroughs in their robotics. I believe for me, I'm doing our research, one of the greatest ways to achieve oversight is through governance. Good governance and good regulations will actually put through with some major breakthrough in robotic oversight. Because when a robot is not actually functioning with the AI regulation and AI governance put through for that organization or for that country, for that society, that robot can be put short, can be shut down because it doesn't flow through with what it's meant to be doing. Were there reasons for the oversight to look into it? Yes, we had a pacing problem. Sometimes some robots are doing jobs faster than required. And how then do we handle all this? How do we look into that problem? We have emerging technologies coming through daily, and the governance we have, I think in our first class, we are talking about the fact that it's really difficult right now to govern AI and robotics with the level of AI, basically with the level of innovations every time. So we need to have clear oversights that handle things, that handle this AI and these robots to ensure that we do not have problem. We have the stakeholder engagement. How then, as stakeholders in the robotics, how are we sure that it's not going against what we have actually put it to handle? If all these reasons are reasons where we can actually handle basic oversight for robotics to ensure that we're having robots that are not going against the will. Are robots going to take over from humans very soon? The answer is a yes and a no for us, because with proper robotics oversight, robots will surely remain under the influence, control, maneuver, and instructions of its maker. A child cannot overgrow the mother. A tree would never, a fruit can never overgrow the tree that brought it, except that tree chooses to let it be. Same thing with robotics. If good oversight, looking into the algorithm, ensuring that a robot or an AI in the robot is actually giving information back to the central computer controlled by a human that actually handles it, there'll be perfect oversight. And for sure, we can handle and control robots and the entire robotics engineering to ensure that humans do not suffer in the long run from the invent of robotics and robots. Thank you very much. I think I'll conclude at that point.
All right. Thank you very much, Goslow. That was an excellent presentation. Thank you. And thank you for showing up despite your trip. I know it was quite inconvenient, but still, thank you very much. Thank you. All right. I think during the course of the two presentations, we all have picked one or two things. Oh, before that, I think we should do our usual tradition of taking pictures. So everyone, let's turn up our videos. Let's turn up our videos. Let's cover everyone in videos, please. Videos, so we can all take a good picture. And if you're Kishi Olarewaju, please, your video. Joshua, thank you. All right. So, Wastera is not here. John, thank you. Lovett, thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. You know what we're about to do. So I need you all to smile. I think it's all smiles that should be in this. Awesome. Nice one. Thank you. Nice one. So, take your screenshots and post it on LinkedIn. Let's spread the word about the program. Let everyone hear that we are shaping the future right here. Let everyone hear about it. Right. Okay. Right. We're doing well. Cindy, you're not smiling. Thank you. Precious, I'm waiting for your smile too. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. So, okay, I think you can turn the video off now. But it will be more fun if we all could see one another. Anyway, so in the course of the presentation, I am very certain that we've learned the essential. Excellent presentations from both groups. Thank you very much for taking the time to do the research and for coming here to present. I am very, very grateful. Okay, so we would have questions and answers later. We'll have questions and answers later. So, but for now, let's listen to our mentors. I'm going to read your profiles. I'll read your profiles now. So, let's start with Mr. And trust me, these are the most exciting people in the field right now. You really want to mention. Okay, I'm going to start. Wait 1 second. Okay. So Mr. Bade is He's the co-founder and CTO at Net Zero Robotics. He has expertise in building hardware prototyping, development, management, and mass manufacturing of robotics and automated systems. So, wow, that's something. Trust me, I don't think anyone is more qualified to discuss robotics with us than someone who's actually having hands-on experience with it. Most of us are mostly theoretical at this point. We do this, we do our research, we learn. That's how we get our knowledge. But Mr. Bode is actually involved in robotics. I mean, he's an expert in building robots at this point and in their mass manufacturing. So this is one person you need to listen to. Now, Igata John studied agri and bioresources engineering at the Federal University of Technology, Mina, Niger State. He's a passionate innovator, entrepreneur, trainer, and engineer in robotics, artificial intelligence, and the Internet of Things. He was a winner at the Acting Space Innovation Competition in 2020. He's also a recipient of the Access Bank grant for the innovation of smart agripreneurship and marketing platform. That's during his NYC program in 2021. Again, someone with hands-on experience. I think, guys, you're in for a treat today. You're really in for a treat. Now, the last of our mentors for this week is Mr. Gabriel Udo. He's a research fellow and doctoral candidate at the Faculty of Law, Europa Universal, Valgirian, Frankfurt in Germany, and he recently won the Dutch I don't think I can pronounce that. Someone just won an award I cannot pronounce. So I'm going to set that aside. So he has a funded position under the BIP fellowship program for the research project, which is intelligence weaponry. That is the law and ethics of intelligence weaponry. His research specializes in, they are centered mostly on artificial intelligence and low weapons technology, smart city technology, and international humanitarian law. He's also into robotics, autonomous. Sorry, let me go over that again. He's also into robotics, autonomous. Okay, currently, Gabriel is a Beyond Fellow in the ethics group of the Observation International AI Future Lab on Artificial Intelligence for Earth Tech University, Munich. He holds a master's degree in international law, several and machine learning, Python certifications in artificial intelligence programming for data analysis, UAVs, and small robotics. Okay, he has several publications in both local and international journals. Mr. Gabriel has presented papers in India, Sweden, Austria, and other countries, and they're all centered about this around this research areas. So he has presented several papers on robotics, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence programming for data analysis. Okay, this is my favorite part. At his leisure, Mr. Gabriel plays the piano, he plays chess, he develops programs with Python, and he listens to music. So just this is something. This is an exciting day for me. Now, the fact that he has time to play the piano and play chess, despite all this, did you see the certification? Did you see what I just read out to you? So we're in for an exciting moment today. So first, we're going to have Mr. Bode Akimodu. Mr. Bode Akimodu take us on. So, Mr. Bode, welcome.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I'm open for questions after this. Yes, sir, we can hear you. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I joined in. I was a bit late. I was having some network issues. Okay, So, yeah, good day to everyone, and I hope everyone is in good health and I'm doing fine. So, I've been part of this mentorship program for I think a couple of seasons now. If I can say that. So, looking at the presentations. And the recent developments that have happened since um, the last events that's held, or the last cohort. So looking at one of the presentations, I was really interested in one of the presentations, especially robotics and oversight. Can you still hear me? Am I still being heard?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure because the network has not been really good. Okay, so in the presentation, robotics and oversight, um, I I actually appreciate the classification of types of robots, even though it doesn't cover all types of robots, but it gives a general overview of the robots that are commonly being used or being deployed across different industries and across different areas. So we have the autonomous mobile robots, the automated guided vehicles, the AGVs and the AMRs, articulated robots, the humanoids, the cobots, and the hybrids. When it comes to robotics and oversight, I believe the major focus would center around um, autonomous robots, humanoids, cobots. In some, those are the three aspects that I would say there's a lot of decision making by the robots. So in other words, these robots have to be fused with one form of AI or machine learning for them to actually work to accomplish their goals or tasks. Due to recent events, I think we're going to see a rapid development in the use of AI in robotics than once was. Previously, before this new aspect of Chat GPT and GPT-3 AI from OpenAI, there has always been this difficulty in fusing AI with robotics that is quite interactive. But we're seeing that OpenAI is actually feeding off a really large database and is actually very good in terms of translating on sourcing for information from its archive or its trained models. So we're going to be seeing a lot of things. I expect to see a rapid development in AI, AI robots. Are going to be seeing a lot of AI assistants. And why is that? So the typical Siri and the typical Google assistants and the Amazon Alexas and Amazon assistants and all that, which were not really AI. They were quite premature versions of AI. They had issues from time to time. But with this new development with GPT-3 and these new AI platforms that have come out and are open source, we're going to be seeing better AI-based robots, which are going to, in one way or the other, have a significant impact. So we're talking about home assistants that are much better than Google assistants, much better than Siri, much better than Alexa, Google, the Amazon assistant. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that, which will then, and what I've always said in the past is robotics on its own is more or less just an automated machine with sensors and actuators. But when you fuse AI and of its own, it doesn't really have anything governing it. It's like a machine which has a manual. So as long as the operator stays within the confines of the manual, the operating principles given by the manual, the manufacturer, there's really no legal issues that can arise so much so compared to a robot that is said to be intelligent, right? In quotes, said to be intelligent. When a manufacturer starts tagging its machine or its robot as intelligent, then the questions and the questions about who is responsible for issues arising from these robots um, causing harm or causing damage or having issues in the long run or causing loss of lives or things like that, then you start having those kind of issues. So, but with with this new developments in AI, those questions will come up even more than they used to. And yeah, I see a lot of a lot of aspects, a lot of new sectors that will open up significantly in the aspect of robotics and oversight and yeah. I think for now that's my take on these presentations.
All right, thank you very much for that. Thank you. So it was extremely insightful. And while you were discussing the fusion of AI and robotics, I could not help wondering how the world would be if we had a robot teacher with ChatGPT inside, like that perhaps an advanced version of ChatGPT. So having a teacher explain things to you the way ChatGPT would do that. So I look forward to a world where we have more advanced robotics, more detailed. Of course, there's also the scary part because it can affect jobs, it can affect established societal structures. But again, that is what change is. All right. So, before we move on to the next presentation, I need to specially recognize the presence of Mr. Joseph Obon. He's one of the patrons of JIIPC. He's a patron. I need to recognize his presence here. Mr. Joseph, thank you for gracing us to your presence. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Amotoye, thank you.
Okay, all right. No. Okay, our next speaker, should be our next mentor should be
Montoya's voice is cracking from my end. I don't know if you can all hear him. Hello, everybody.
No, sir, I can't hear him from my end, please.
Okay, yeah, I think he's having network issues. So,
yes,
I think I just saw Godlove Kamalo's hand raised. I don't know if you have a question. You can quickly ask your question.
Okay, no. He introduced Mr. Joseph Obo, so that was a clap.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we're moving now straight to the question and answer session. While we are waiting other mentors to join us for today's program, I'll be reading the questions immediately for Mr. Bode Akimodu, if he's still on the call with us. So the first question is robotics. Okay, would robots actually be able to take over? Is a question we get to see. This question always keep popping out, and people are actually very afraid if at the end of this tunnel the robots will be taking over from humans, maybe our works, everything we do entirely. So please, question is for you.
Okay. The question is, will robots be taking over jobs?
Will robots actually be able to take over from humans?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the. It's a definite yes. Machines during the course of industrialization, machines took over the tasks or some tasks during that era. A lot of tasks, a lot of automobiles took over, bus cart riders. You had smartphones taking over this the cellular the telephone networks. People who were telephone interchanges and all that. So definitely robotics is already taking over a lot of repetitive tasks in industry. Most developed nations are shifting their manufacturing to as much as possible robot-based, automation-based, robotics-based. A lot of repetitive tasks. So if you're someone who is involved with tasks that do not require creativity or any major intellectual input, definitely a robot is in line to take over that job, right? Low-paying jobs, robots are in line to take over low-paying jobs. Jobs that are hazardous, robots are in line to take over jobs that are hazardous. So it's a definite yes. And the whole idea is that new types of jobs will be created. Most of these new types of jobs that will be created would center mostly around high creativity, high intellectual input, and anything that has to do with design, development, and human creativity, human intelligence, right? Those are jobs that I would say would still be very relevant. But anything that is repetitive, that is mostly hands-on, mostly physical, robots are in line to take most of it. Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
I hope that answers the question, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the detailed response, sir. Thank you. Sir, although I should also ask, this is now listed, yeah. But how would this takeover of jobs by robots, how would it affect the next evolution, the next workplace evolution? How would it affect our interaction with our careers?
Well, I think people underestimate and overestimate how technology creeps in. Most technology creeps in very slowly, and before you know it, it's a part of your life. It's a part of your lifestyle, right? I think when the cellular phone came up, there were stories about, is it witchcraft? Is it this? Is it that? There are people who refuse to use mobile phones or cellular phones now. Even in, let's say, in some religious spheres, It was seen as the devil. It was seen as satanic. It was seen as new. So I think you get to a point. I think so. This generation has witnessed the majority of new technology in a short period of time, right? We've witnessed the computers, we've witnessed the internet, we've witnessed the mobile phone, we've witnessed some form of autonomous vehicles, we've witnessed AI, we're witnessing robotics, we're witnessing electric vehicles. So it's coming it's becoming much more easier for us to just get to a point where we won't even notice that robots are already doing basic tasks for us, right? So I'd say it will come in a way where we don't really expect it, but consciously or subconsciously we are accepting it, right? Because we are seeing we're seeing the benefits. So definitely a lot of people see the benefits, and subconsciously or consciously we just accept it. And it will be that even your security guard at the gate may not be needed when the technology becomes very affordable. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. I think we lost our moderator again. I'm the backup moderator, so I'm always here to pick up from wherever he stops. Thank you very much for that answer. I know it's a controversial question, and people are still arguing if robots will be taking over or not. So I'll be taking the next question, which is what level or degree of safeguard needed to be put in place in order to completely eradicate the fear of robots taking over from humans? Did you get that?
Is that for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what necessary things need to be taken to mitigate?
To eradicate the fear of robots taking over from humans.
Yeah, so I think it goes back to what I said. We would subconsciously or subconsciously easily get to accept it, right? I don't think the fear is as much as every new technology brings its fears, right? That it will take over jobs, it will cause people to lose their jobs. But corporations usually drive nations, right? And if corporations and what drives corporations is profit. And if corporations are driven to use automation and robotics for implementing solutions or improving their bottom line, then for the most part, most other people down the pecking order of socioeconomic class have no other option, right? There may be protests in some areas. There will be protests in some countries. There will be protests in some regions, but for the most part, I think we'll subconsciously just accept that some of these things it will get to a point where it's very affordable that it becomes very basic. So I don't think there's any major step that we can just put in place. It's like saying you want to being able to work at the time the computer came on board, the PC came on board. Some people try to avoid it, and we're still trying to use the typewriter, right? But clearly now, I doubt you see anybody using a typewriter, right? And I'd say in Africa, up to the late 1990s, some people were still using the typewriter. But in the last 20 years, I don't think there's any office within this sphere that is still using a typewriter, right? So I think that's what will happen. It will be inevitable. It's an inevitable thing that machines will be more productive in terms of repetitive tasks. They will come into our homes. They will come into our environments. You would see them in, when you get to the bank and let's say you are being attended to by a robotic assistant, right? You subconsciously you start getting used to it. The same way this cashless policy is being forced on people, right? Subconsciously people are finding their way around it, and if it persists for a good enough period of time, people get used to it. So it's trying to stop it does not really do anything for anyone presently. I would say trying to ensure that there is ample regulation that enables the transition to be smooth by not alienating any particular socioeconomic class, by not allowing people to lose their livelihoods. I think there should still be a balance until it can be paid, until manual tasks, especially repetitive work, can be phased out, or less efficient systems can be phased out gradually. And these less efficient systems that are being done by individuals can be phased out manually. I'd say it's a gradual process, right? We are currently, if not for this cashless policy, a lot of people had switched from going to the ATMs to using POS machines, right? Before now, ATMs were almost hardly ever being used, right? Because the cost of POS was negligible compared to waiting in a queue for so many hours. So it's inevitable that you would have people that would protest, but I would say the major focus should be on having a smooth transition, right? And it takes years to move. Some people who are in the higher class age, people who find it difficult to learn new tasks, new skills, making sure that they are not completely removed from the labor chain, and then gradually imputing new technology for that transition. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. There's just one more question. Oh, by the way, anyone that has question, please, the floor is open for you. Just ask your questions, please. Anyone with question, please? Okay, while we wait for that, the last question: how can we use the law to ensure respect for data privacy, which can easily be breached through the use of robotic systems? I think.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Yeah, I think the law will play an important role, especially in terms of governments being proactive in making regulations that ensure that the legal aspect, the technical aspect, the compensation aspect of any future unforeseen situations that creep up can be addressed without having to have a lot of a lot of back and forth in terms of what should we have done, right? Well, not having so much ambiguity in this situation. So I think it's important that yes, a lot of especially for government
I missed the
regulation,
last.
especially in terms of government regulation, the law will play an important role to ensure that um, in cases of damaged lives or property as a result of the use of these systems, there's even regulation in the way these machines, these robots are being built, right? So if there's proper regulation which has legal ramifications, then manufacturers of these systems would take notes. There's a situation of these robotic vacuum cleaners having to breaching, I think, data privacy of some of their customers, and it has been a big topic for a while. A robot whose job, for instance, is to majorly clean, like a vacuum or clean, in one way, should really not have any business having a camera system that can capture images. But if there has to be that situation, then it may be that the regulation has to ensure, the law and the regulation has to ensure that that data is not transmitted over the web. It's not transmitted over the internet. It should be localized. So these are some of the regulations. These are some of the laws and regulations that I believe should be factored in. There are too many robot types and applications and industries that will have to be studied intricately for them to be designed for the law and the regulation to be designed accordingly. You cannot design one law for all of them. It actually will not work that way, because there are some robots that actually require to be connected to the internet, to have image sensors and image sensors. While there are some which may not really have any business having image sensors and may not have any business being connected to the internet. So for different industries, there may be general or generic laws, and then these laws can be built on top of them. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much for that. Thank you for that, sir. And I'm talking from a lawyer based in Nigeria, in Lagos State. I have to admit that it might take a while for us to truly get here, to get to the point where the legal system encompasses all aspects of robotics and the oversight necessary to ensure data protection and to restrict the activities. I mean, we've had several cases, even without robotics. We've had several data breaches over the past few years. So I know for a fact that it will take a while, but I'm looking forward to a time when we can balance this advancement in technology with the right legal framework to manage the activities. But we have one question from Goslov. Goslov, please, your question.
Okay. Thank you. Before I get to the question, why I really agree with the fact that with regards to the legal system and looking at the body given the task of bringing forth laws, when those men and women are really quite determinant about how much the paper sits, nobody really cares about the kind of law and how advanced the law would get. But I believe that with organizations like JIIPCC training young people to understand and appreciating courses like this, we begin to write astute papers and actually make good presentations over time that would actually change the course of things. I know Mr. Gabriel spoke the other time, and one of the mentors we had also spoke about the fact that they are also having a sit down and some talks about AI in Nigeria. So let's say in near future, we actually have a change. So my question though, looking at the issue of robotics oversight, please sir, what would you say would be the best or the most proficient guideline or oversight to be used in managing robotics? Well, I'm looking at probably several of them. What would you say would be the best one to actually give us actual oversight over the robotics and their workings and everything?
Okay. Okay. So if I'm getting you correctly, okay, I say the most significant oversight I'd be worried about, or I would place a lot of emphasis on, would be ensuring that the transition does not alienate a particular age class or socioeconomic class of people. I'd say that it's important that the transition is gradual, that people are not just replaced. You start by ensuring that some of these people who have been in these industries or who really don't have much to do, who really don't have the opportunity to easily learn new skills, either training is given to them or training should be given to them for those who are willing to transition. And also for those who, due to their age, cannot easily transition, the process should be gradual with them. So I'd say the transition should not alienate and should not alienate people based on their age, based on their educational status, based on their socioeconomic class. I'd say training is significant to remove the fear, because a lot of the fear comes about because people do not understand the systems involved. So training is important, and then ensuring that the process for transition is quite smooth and gradual, and it factors in the future generations to come as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for that insight. And I don't see in Nigeria, at least, I don't see a coming anytime soon where we're going to make that transition smooth. It's perhaps let's see how the election goes and all. Let's see how
we're going to shock you. We're going to shock you. Don't worry. We'll shock you.
I look forward to that. I look forward to that, really. Well, okay. I'm really grateful for everyone that's been here. Let's hear from Mr. Joseph Von, please, for the closing remark. Oh, sorry.
Hello.
We have from Musa. Musa, what do you want to say? 1 second, sir, please. Musa, you have something to say?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Musa. We can hear you.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can. Continue.
Though my own is not question, but rather I think it's contribution, particularly to the issue of whether robotics can take charge of human activities or not. I don't know how will I put it, but most of the time should I say blacks or human beings naturally, we always go against what we don't know. The moment we ignore something, we'll attack it regardless of its benefits or impact on our development. I believe that is what is happening with artificial intelligence and other aspects of disruptive technologies. Most of us are ignorant of it. Because of that ignorance, we always condemn it attack it and believe that it's practically impossible. And these technologies have come to stay, whether it or not. The best thing we can do is to embrace it. And people that we are in this forum, it is our task by now to start enlightening people around us, those that at least have that are graduate, postgraduate, and others. Let us start it from there, because up to now, some people who are graduate, when you talk about AI, when you talk about all these technologies, they will think like this one is impossible in their own imagination. That is one. Secondly, issue of labor and robotics. That is one of the aspects that people are discussing. I, as a lawyer, I argue with engineer who said that he read an article that the first job in the world that robotics will take over from his or profession is legal practice, legal profession. And I tell him that no, when robotics come in, artificial intelligence, it will aid lawyers in doing their work easily. So it remains for a lawyer to now adopt AI and know how to use it in order to improve in his own practice. The only lawyers that will lose their job because of AI, they are the ones that refuse or neglected to embrace the AI. Thank you. That is my contribution.
Thank you, Musa. Thank you very much. And thank you for defending the legal profession. I am not ready to lose my job. And I look forward to collaborating with the next phase of technology to become a better lawyer. So I look forward to that. Okay, it doesn't look like we have any more questions or suggestions or any more discussion. Oh, Goslov, please.
No, today's class, I don't know. It's really fun. I know. I was reading something some time back, and the writer said AI would not certainly take over from humans. It took over from those who are not willing to advance in knowledge, and that's the truth. Because if the AI, this robot, is actually controlled by humans, there's a level of control it's going to wield over those who do not actually understand how to manage it and operate it very well. For example, there's a saying in law, as lawyers, that a good lawyer is not a lawyer who knows all the law, but a lawyer who knows where to find the law. So majorly, you actually understand how to appropriate and use AI and this robotics to the best of its ability. That's the person who can actually make more money, or let's say not get alienated from the program completely. These companies, the robotics companies, the AI enabling companies, are looking for those persons who have good knowledge, good idea about AI, about robotics. And these are the human beings who will continue controlling it. Just like humans cannot be greater than God, we are the God of the robots. The movie that I saw that really got me so scared then was iRobot. Whenever I remember iRobot, where the robot had its AI, and then it had a sense of its own. I hope that never happens, because that's the scary part. Those who had some major, should I say, framework put in place to actually control these robots. But at the end of the day, with the advancements coming in, and humans want to taste the abilities, want to make things, want to taste what we can do, we can actually beat our limits, whereby they want to give robots some subconscious kind of consciousness that it can think on its own. Most often now, we can make its own decisions as humans would. Now, breaking the part whereby it's not just the algorithm that's given to you to think as humans, but now it supersedes human thinking, to think outside even what human beings would think, to have a mind of its own. Now, that's the scary part. When your robot has a mind of its own that goes aside the algorithm you're going to think as a human, it now means that robot can have its own personal bias, not even the bias that comes from the society or things. So, like Mr. Musaba said, really, really, truly speaking, the people who are actually going to do it with AI, who AI will not actually take their jobs so much, are those who embrace AI and robotics early enough, understand how to use them, and actually make a better world for themselves. That's where the next line of business is. I think I'll keep quiet now. Let's end the class.
Thank you for that insightful contribution. Thank you very much for that. And I think we sorted that. Okay, that was last quarter. It was last quarter that during an AI session that one of the speakers explained how robotics and, this, okay, most of us got our ideas of AI from movies, the idea of the singularity where the artificial intelligence become greater than human knowledge. So she explained it that was last quarter, that it was based on inputs. But I'm sure we'll get to that with time. There'll be more details, more explanation on that over time. But thank you everyone for a very interactive class. So would Mr. Joseph has some address for us. So Mr. Joseph, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone. Firstly, I want to say a very big thank you to Mr. Bode. Despite your very busy schedule, you still made it through to the program. And I know that you had at some point some network issues, but I'm happy you still made it through as well. Mr. Omotoye, thank you for moderating the session. Thank you, Mr. Hussein. I noticed that we had a lot of interaction today. God's love, thank you for interacting with the process and, of course, giving your views as well. Mr. Muaz, thank you as well for your contributions. I just want to also say that for the group presentations, I was using my laptop initially, but I realized that the video wasn't showing, so I just switched over to my phone now. The presentations were very good. I'm hoping that the next, that's week 5, that week 5 will be better than this week. We didn't have all the mentors today in the program. Hopefully the next week would have everyone on ground. Then also, when we talk of this AI, let me just drop that. Since ChatGPT actually came on board, I've made it a point of duty to use it for anything. I don't even want to waste so much time having to think of things that ChatGPT can help me to think about. When I download all those things, I've watched a lot of videos on YouTube, how to ask specific questions to get specific results and all of those things. So the more you engage with this process, there are some things that naturally I would have not even said, okay, I do those things. But right now, there's a tool that can make some things happen quicker than normal. So why not? Anybody that wants to do certain things. Somebody spoke to me earlier today. He needs a policy drafted so that people can pay school fees on time for his school. And I was like, okay, why not ask ChatGPT? I put some questions, rephrased it, paraphrased it, and almost everything that I need to be able to deliver that job to that person, I've been able to engage with this system to get all these things in less than 10, 15 minutes. So the beauty basically of much of these tools is in the usage. Don't just research about it, engage with it, feel at home with it, feel relaxed with it. I'm very sure that one day we might even have, for religious people, we might begin to think of AI that will be leading prayers or AI that will be preaching, things like that. So, so many things would definitely happen. We have to have that open mind and we have to engage with the process as much as possible beyond what's happening within the mentorship session and all the research. Try and find out. In fact, there's a whole lot of AI for a lot of things, so it's our job to engage, use these things. You must not tell your clients that that's what you are using to get things done. But what I do basically, when I use ChatGPT, I still try to create a semblance of my own thought process into what I'm doing, just to create that difference. But it's faster, it's easier, and it makes the work a whole lot seamless at the end of the day. So thank you, everyone. We're actually, let me just say this here, that JIIPC is actually trying to see how we can have a major AI event this year. We're already in talks with some persons outside of the country to see how that can be made possible. So we covet your prayers and your support. And I'm hoping that if we can actually pull some of these heavyweights across the world within the AI space together to have maybe like an AI program, it's really be nice to have those engagements in Africa, because the conversation, it appears, is having the most traction across Europe, in the US, and maybe in Canada, and also in Asia. So we need to start having those conversations homegrown as well. So that's what we're still about. So thank you, everyone, for today. I really appreciate the fact that we've stayed till this point, and I hope that next week will become better. And finally, please, if you're eligible to vote, please do well to cast your votes. Some people are saying vote wisely. I don't know what that means, but just make sure you are voting in line with your conscience, and let's see how Nigeria can be better. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We've come to the end of today's session. So have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Mr. Bode, for gracing us with your presence. And thank you to everyone else. I look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.